You're listening to The Soul of Generation X, and you can find The Soul of Generation X on Apple Podcast, Spotify Podcast, and wherever you get your podcast.
Welcome back to another episode of The Soul of Generation X. Back for another week of relevant news, discussion, and other topics that are on the horizon. Here with me, as always, my partner in crime, the one and only Lenny. How you doing out there, Lenny?
Doing outstanding, my friend. Glad to be with you. Thanks for having me once again.
Hey, we always glad to have you back, man. Always glad to have you back. You're always welcome. What's been going on? You've been fishing? Been anything? What are you doing to calm your mind and keep sane in this incredibly insane time that we're going through?
Well, just try to take it one day at a time. You know, like most Americans, most sane Americans. Not too high, not too low. Try to limit the news that I watch and the social media that I'm on. And I also like to sit down and have me a shot of Casamigo tequila. Every once in a while to calm the nerves.
I had a listener that heard you talk about that last week, and they were like, "Wow, that's my favorite as well." So we're pulling them in various ways here, I guess. You know, from the Casamigo.
You can't go wrong with Casamigo and some smooth jazz.
You can't go wrong with Casamigos from smooth jazz. I hear you. So you're just taking it, and so you're still doing the advice that you give to our listeners about how to stay sane and calm in this really seriously a trying time for many people. Lots of, as we always say, lots of anxiety, depression, various things go. So it's good to hear that you are, once again, as we say, you're practicing what you preach. Is that correct?
That's correct. And like I say, I want to add to that. And if you're feeling any type of being overwhelmed with all that's going on, reach out and talk to somebody. Reach out to a friend, reach out to a minister, I guess. Reach out to a doctor.
Great advice.
Don't keep it bottled in, because if you do, this stuff will make you go absolutely bonkers. Because
Therapy,
what's going on in the world right now is absolutely bonkers.
Yes.
So have an outlet, reach out to someone, and get help if you need it. That's the most important thing.
Excellent advice. Y'all out there, if you're listening to what Lenny just said, just take heed of that. Excellent advice. Talk to somebody. Get some therapy. It's not don't be ashamed. We both have therapists, and we're not ashamed to admit it. Lenny, I know you're not. So and don't be whether especially black men, young black men, middle-aged black men in general. It's always been said that we don't seek out therapists, but we do. And that is, seek out, your partner, your spouse, seek somebody, but don't do this thing alone.
Right.
It could really, really be trying. Just looking at my list here, and I see we have been pulling in listeners from various parts of the globe. Lenny, you want to expound on that?
Yeah, we've been getting listeners in from Ghana.
International, okay.
Nigeria, once again.
Okay.
Cebu in the Philippines.
Wow.
Cagayan de Oro, if I'm saying it right. Also another city in the Philippines. Mm-hmm. So we're becoming internationally known, and we're stretching out across the Atlantic and the Pacific Ocean. So happy to have those new listeners, and we really appreciate you guys.
That's awesome. Are they sending in asking any questions? Or I know we sent out one, I think a couple of welcome emails since the last show. Or are you getting, what kind of feedback are you getting?
Well, I actually got a couple feedbacks. One was from the Burgundy of Cagayan de Oro, Philippines. Actually sent me an award, a plaque, not a plaque, just a congratulations on the the efforts and supporting them and their efforts to try to bring awareness to radio and television in that region. And also, I got a question from a new listener out of Nigeria. Now, I really don't get into certain subjects, but they asked, so I went ahead and tried to appease them. So I was asked the question like, what do you think, or what do we think about LTR, which was LTR? They said, well, long-term relationship. I was like, well, I'm not an expert in that, because I've never been in one. So, but the only advice I could give that individual was, you got to be true to who you are. It takes effort. It takes, I think, more than effort when you're talking about long distance. And it's going to have to be some trust and honesty, and in a situation like that where, there has to be an understanding that, the distance between the two is a lot that some people can't handle and some people can. So it all depends on the individuals and what they want out of the relationship. So that's my take on it. What about you, Isaac? I mean, you gonna add anything to that?
Hey, you covered it. I mean, you got that email, and this is my first time hearing about it, but I will agree with you. It sounds good. I know you're giving out good advice, so I'll second that. I will second that. So
I hope that answers your question to the listener in Nigeria. Our take on long distance relationship, and we're not a love channel, but we've been around a while. So yeah.
All right, we'll leave that one on the table just like that. So we thank you for those getting that housekeeping out the way there. I don't have any other notes here, except we are doing really well, moving up in the ratings, and bringing you the content that we're trying to give to you, that's trying to help you and help guide just not the soul of Generation X folks, but all of Generation X and more. So don't stay back because you think you may not be soul of Generation X. We here for everybody. So getting those notes aside, there's been a really I would say a wacky last 6 or 7 days, wouldn't you say, Lenny? In the world of in our country. Which is you started out off with a laugh. So
this has been like bizarre world.
It's been like it's like they say, you have a circus and it's filled with clowns. And I mean, what other you can't take a kingdom and you put clowns inside it, they still gonna be clowns. I mean, you follow me a little bit. I mean, on that one. So, I mean, it's once again, daily, you're waking up to something every day. You don't know if you're listening to comedy radio. I think some people even say they see certain articles, and I know you're familiar with The Onion, that they do plays on different things, just comedy, but it's gotten so bad that people say they can't tell Onion news from real news. Right. So and that's pretty bad. If those of you who know what The Onion parody, it's a bit of parody over the years. So and you read the Onion sometimes, right. But can you even tell? It's hard to tell because you look at something and you say, "No way, that can't be true." Right. And you look at I don't understand. But anyway, that kind of brings us to our topic. Go ahead.
It's like a Mel Brooks movie.
Mel Brooks movie.
Okay, Mel Brooks.
Yes.
He did a lot
Mel
of
was-
parody. He over exaggerated
Yeah.
funniness.
Funny guy.
And
Funny guy.
yeah, and this whole thing that we're going through is like Mel Brooks movie. Like we're sitting back with the popcorn and just say, this can't be. This is just ridiculous. This is just. If it wasn't reality, it would be funny.
True.
If it wasn't reality, it would be funny.
True.
But yeah, it's
True.
something else.
Yeah, it is something, and that's kind of like what we're keying on this week. What I've basically come up with myself, we discussed in show prep, but the alarming actions this last week by the Trump administration. The most alarming actions, I don't want to say comedic, well, we could say comedic as well, that we've heard, because it's been so many. I mean, have you,
Well,
I'm almost speechless on this. There, day to day, it's been so many. Yeah.
it's been a smorgasbord of
Smorgasbord. Okay.
what you can choose from. So when you guys was, I don't know if anybody remember that word. We call it a buffet, but we call it a smorgasbord, where you can just go down the line and pick what you want. So you pick which one is the most. I'm just get into it.
Get into it.
So
Go ahead.
The
Go
Pope,
for it.
the Pope just died last week.
Oh God.
That's the Pope. He's been around a long time, and he did a lot of good. The Catholics. I'm not Catholic, so I won't pretend to know all I need to know about, their ways and their rituals and everything. But I know the Pope. He was a decent human being. He, he tried to bring peace in the world, and a serious guy. He had, he talked about serious issues. So our vice president went over on Easter Sunday and visited with the Pope, and the next day the Pope was dead. Now, I'm not saying that the vice president is a bad omen, Coach. He could be, or could not be. But all I know, when he left, the man died. It wasn't 24 hours later, he was dead.
Yes.
So maybe that's the Trump effect. I don't know, and I'm not making light of it. But, so less than a week, I don't even think a couple of days went by. So 47, and that's what I call him, 47, retweeted a picture of him as the next Pope. Now,
I saw that.
that's as low as, when you think somebody can't get any lower, when you think somebody's crawling on their belly already, it got worse, it got lower. And it's a shame, as my grandmother used to say, it's a scandalous and a shame that the leader of the free world, 47, is engaging in comical acts over a person's death for someone as big as the Pope. Now, like I said, I'm not Catholic, but I'm sure it was offensive, very offensive, highly offensive to the Catholic people. Here they are, the leader of their religion, just passed away the day after the vice president visited with him. And 2 days later, you got the 47 dressed up, tweeting out, retweeting pictures, 2:00 in the morning with him as the next Pope. Now, he said he didn't know anything about it the day after. But then he turned around and thought, my wife thought it was pretty funny. With her herself being a devout Catholic, I don't see how she could have thought that was amusing. So, I sympathize with the Catholic religion, the people who are Catholic. It's never funny when someone passes away, but someone with the magnitude of the Pope to be made fun of by 47 is just a disgusting, amateurish, juvenile, incoherent idiot to put himself, a man who is disgusting and who can't even hold a Bible upright, to compare himself to a man who tried to bring peace, equality, and love to the world.
That is so true, Lenny. Now, Lenny, let me ask you this, adding in to a side note of what you just said. I've heard a lot of people backlash from a lot of people saying that they haven't heard enough from the Catholic community about this. Okay, various senators, various representatives, various world figures, people, celebrities in general. Why have we not heard the proper backlash that we should have heard about? Why are they scared of this man, or what? What's going on?
Well, the Cardinal of New York, he spoke out very strongly of Donald Trump, 47's antics. He spoke out very strongly, and I've heard, and I've read and I've seen and heard a lot of Catholics who really took offense to that. It would be just like, if an anti-Semitic, to the Jews. So yeah, they were upset, and people have spoken out, but there's not enough people in power.
Right, it's not enough
speaking out because they're cowards and they're scared.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's not enough. We're not getting. When you think about it, something like this really would have been, and we're going to say it, and it's got to be said. If President Obama had done something like this, it had been on the 6 o'clock news, the 11 o'clock news, it had been on CNBC, and MSNBC. It would have been on every front page of every source. Why is this man, I don't want to even say man, why is this human allowed to get away with the sickening things that he's doing? Are you scared of him?
Oh, I'm glad you asked me that.
Are you scared of him?
I got a call today from somebody that I've known a long time. They asked the same question: what are we doing? Why are these people scared of this man? And I said, some people want to stay in power so bad that they're willing to die on their knees, begging. Mm-hmm. Me, if I'm gonna down my feet, fighting you. All right, I'm not gonna get on my knees to be holding to you.
Right.
Because my thing is, I've always been like this. If I got anything to say, I'm gonna say it to your face. And if I think you're wrong, I'm gonna tell you I think you're wrong. You may not agree with it, and I deal with that on social media a lot, but I'm gonna tell it anyway. Yes, that's my voice, and that's my opinion. I'm gonna use it. But for so many politicians, and I'm gonna say a lot of Republican politicians are cowards. I said it last week. They're cowards to the core. I think back to Ted Cruz when 45 at that time talked about this man's wife and his dad. Yeah. And he had the weakest milquetoast response of anybody ever heard of. You better not say nothing. You better stop. Man, don't you know I'd have cornered him somewhere and I'd have gave him a piece of my mind. I'd have put my finger in his face and dared him to do something. Let me hear you come out your mouth again. I'm gonna slap fire in your mouth. But because people want power so bad, they want to stay in good graces so bad that they're willing to sacrifice their manhood, their womanhood, in order to please a guy who don't give a damn about him. I'm just be honest with him. He don't give a damn about him. So that's where it's at.
I heard today he didn't even care about himself. Some, we listen to a lot of pundits, and a lot of our brothers and sisters in the podcast world, which we thoroughly enjoy, and you hear so many different views. But I heard today, I believe it's what was her name? She said she doesn't even think he likes himself. He's just doing everything he can do. He doesn't even care about a legacy. He just wants to do everything he can do now. And we know that. I mean, we know his background. You could read where he came from and why he is like he is from his niece, Mary Trump, who is an outstanding person.
Yes.
I mean, just an amazing. If anybody out there read Mary Trump's books, you will. If you have no clue of what's going on, read Mary Trump's books. We're not getting paid to say that, but just read her book. But you would know. But yeah, like what Lenny was saying just now, these people are spineless. They are opportunists. That's why,
Yes.
like, you're an opportunist.
Yes.
You're willing to sell your soul.
Yep.
Is almost say if a vampire came and bit you and took you, or you became a child. What? Come on, Lenny. What's the old movie we used to watch? The devil or the devil. What was one of our favorite movies back in the day? The Wishmaster.
The Wishmaster.
That would be
Sold
an
his soul.
excellent. Oh man, that would
Yes.
be an I just came up with that just now.
Yes.
We're dealing with the Wishmaster.
Yeah.
We are dealing with the Wishmaster. And if y'all don't know what that is, anybody out there, horror movie buffs, check out the Wishmaster and parallel that to your leader, your United States leader. But doesn't that kind of remind you of some Wishmaster stuff going on?
Well, yeah, of course. He is making all kind of promises to all kind of individuals. I think about Jeff Bezos last week. How he cowered out and bowed down.
I'm
One
so
of the richest
disappointed
men
Jeff.
in the world
So disappointed in Jeff.
just gave up. Because you better not show what they're gonna be paying in those tariff prices, and we'll get to that later on. But you better take it down, Jeff, and I'm going to be really disappointed in you. And what does Bezos do? He crumbles.
I'm so disappointed in Jeff. I literally go back to and remember when Jeff Bezos was selling books out of his garage.
Yes.
Do you remember that? He was
Yes.
literally selling. He had, his day job.
Yeah.
But that's how Amazon started. Amazon, for those of you who don't know, started as Amazon Books. It wasn't Amazon merchandise as it is now. But I remember Jeff, and because we go way back in the internet world, and he was literally, and you could find some videos and pictures online. Jeff was selling. I mean, I've supported him. I've been a fan of Jeff Bezos. So I am very disappointed about that. So
because Jeff Bezos had principles.
Yeah,
he had a spine, and all of a sudden, his back is broken. He doesn't have a spine. The Wishmaster has snatched his spine out, and he's jelly. He's straight jelly.
I got to add an asterisk to those of y'all just doing it. The Wishmaster, look it up. Wishmaster, look it up. Lenny actually got me started on this. He loves to, and that must have been like, oh man, we known what we were going to experience now. Oh, the Wishmaster. Well, go ahead, Lenny. I had to throw that.
No, you're right. I mean, he actually snatched the man's spine, and he's jelly. He's worse than a jellyfish. And I lost a lot of respect because I'm a big subscriber to Amazon and products and stuff. And it's like, wow, come on, man. You would be I'm like, why would you do this?
Yeah.
And it's so discouraging. But like I said, getting back to your main point, people have lost the courage, they've given up, and they've given in. So that's it in a nutshell.
Well, hey, I just wanted to add one thing on to that. I am still proud of, you might not have been thinking of this guy here, proud of that we haven't seen Mark Cuban cave.
Yes.
And I'm really proud. I've been a Mark Cuban fan, once again, going way back.
Yeah.
Mark Cuban he started a website, I'd say back in the 90s, called broadcast.com.
Yes, right.
Where you could actually go online and you people hear it now like, oh, wow. But you can go online and listen to radio stations online, different types of music. Now it's second nature. But back in the 90s, Mark and a buddy started broadcast.com. And of course, you see what that brought him, the riches that brought to him, and what he's able to do as a basketball owner and businessman. And he's been an upstanding person. And if Mark caved, then there's something got to be going on that we don't know about. Right. That these people why are you caving into this nothingness of a human?
Right.
Basically, I mean, that cares about no one. And also, and I go, we talk about him, but we know it's his crew. It's his. He's
Right.
just a figurehead. This is, but he's bringing this crew together, and these people are scared or something. I mean, I don't know if they got their bank accounts. They worried about this. Their anxiety. They must have the most anxiety, and they're out of, these people that work for him. They wake up every day. Am I going to have a job? Am I going to have a job? I got to follow this man. I got to do, okay, I got 4 kids. I got them in private school. Okay, I'm gonna go out here and be, and just do wrong today, knowing that it's, I mean, what is in their mind?
Yeah.
You just wonder.
Right.
So, you had something to add on that, Clint?
Well, I just want to say one other person that 47 has not even attempted to discredit, and that's Warren Buffett.
Yes, Warren Buffett. I don't think Warren Buffett would have the nerve, even in his elderly stage. Now, he's still a very sharp man.
94 years old.
Yeah, and still lives in the same house for 60 years, I think.
Yeah.
He's living in the same house 60 years, drives a Cadillac he's had for like 25 years.
Yeah.
His wife, I just read this other, but I mean, I've been a Warren Buffett fan.
Right.
But yeah, he I guess in the world of, like somebody say, Star Wars, he is the ultimate the Jedi. 'Cause
Right.
you won't hear. I've never heard Warren Buffett in any of this mess.
And just to say this, yes, I was listening to Warren Buffett at a conference he was at.
Really?
And he trashed 47th, the tariffs.
When was this?
This was Sunday, and I heard it Monday. I watched the rebroadcast of it, and he didn't even call 47's name, but he trashed his policies.
Wow.
And 47 never said one word.
He said the word. See,
He will not say anything.
That's when you start thinking somebody knows something here, somebody here,
Right.
something, and it's kind of like this, that secret society that they used to talk about in Washington. I don't know if is it the skulls?
Skulls and crossbones.
Yeah, it's that's enough for another show. But I just want to.
But if you go back and if the listeners go back and listen to Warren Buffett in the conference he had Sunday, he's
is that on YouTube or where is that?
Yeah, you can find it on YouTube. He's CEO of Berkshire Hathaway. He absolutely trashed the tariffs.
I'm definitely have to check that out.
And 47, he'll come out and badmouth someone, this and that, but he didn't say one word.
Not
about
one
Warren
word.
Buffett. Not one word.
Warren would own him. He'd own him.
Yeah.
He'd own him because I don't know about your boy Elon now. He's been out of the headlines for a while. We haven't even seen anything come up unless it's like just a mockery type of thing. But I believe even Elon Musk wouldn't. I've never heard him say anything. I mean, so that's enough for another show. But that just showed you the respect that many folks have for Warren Buffett and have had for many years. And those of you, especially the young folks, our listeners, check out, make a list. A lot of you guys make a list. A lot of things we talk about, because Lenny and I, we kind of will bring up some trivial things that and they'll be right on time, so you definitely, Lenny's really good at that, so he can, so just have a list there. So so that kind of, guess that rounds out that. Moving forward, I've been looking at in our quest of as we say, unusual, controversial things that your leader has been involved in. Something that really, really got to me, because I really get this, a lot of this really gets to me in various ways. But I'd say probably the most unsettling statement that Lenny likes to say 47. I will say his name because I'm not scared of him. I'm just going to say it. And Lenny ain't scared of him either, but he just don't want to. But Trump, your fearless leader, I'd say probably one of the most unsettling statements that he made last week is whether he's actually obligated to uphold the U.S. Constitution. And this wasn't a slip. It was a deliberate comment made in the context of whether undocumented immigrants deserve constitutional protections. You know, and I'm sure many of you heard that, Lenny, you heard it. I'm
Yep.
sure you were, I know you were appalled when you heard this. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
I can see your face
Oh yeah, no doubt.
hearing that. And I believe when he was asked that, was it Kristen Walker that
Christian
asked
Walker,
that?
yes. Yeah,
Kristen,
Walker.
yeah, very fine, and outstanding journalist. And when I heard this, I thought it was a parody. I thought it was a Saturday Night Live skit, and I had to replay it. Oh, I think it was on YouTube. And the man actually sat there and said this. I don't. What do you think? I mean, how is this happening?
Well, for it is. I'm going to use this word. It is rich that 47 would deny someone else due process when he himself
Mm-hmm.
was crying and belly aching about due process when he was going through his trials, his 34 conviction accounts. He exhausted every bit of due process up to the point where he was convicted. His lawyers challenged every single thing, every step of the way. He was afforded due process. Now, some people may say, well, they're not American citizens. But if I read the amendments right of the Constitution, every person that comes to this country,
Mm-hmm.
whether by, as the old folks say, whether by hook or crook, has a right to due process.
Correct.
Under the law. Okay, they have a right to have a hearing whether they're, they can be in the country or not. At least the bare minimum of that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But this organization, this regime, doesn't think that due process is afforded to certain people. So we're just going to put them on planes and send them to El Salvador. They're talking about sending people to Libya and other places over the world, Haiti. So for someone to cry about due process for him, he didn't want to give it to anybody else. So 47 is the biggest hypocrite that this country has ever known.
Yes, I agree. That and when you look at something like that, anybody should get alarmed when somebody wants to deny you due process. That should make even his followers. They could be on their way home from somewhere and get stopped and, oh, you got some cannabis in here, you got some blah, blah. Hey, we taking you straight to the prison. Well,
Yeah.
what about that? You know what I mean? No, you're going straight to, not jail, you're going to prison.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now they shouldn't have anything to say again because they're supporting a man or a person who wants to deny people their due process. So if that happened to them, and that moves us into, which I can never get out of my head, is these people are going to have to experience some things that they are supporting and to maybe come around, like I think we talked about it where a young lady said she told this lady, man, she said, he said, why are you supporting so and so? She said, well, no, I supported Kamala Harris because I voted for you by voting for her.
Mhm.
You voted against me by voting for him, but I voted for you. And these people are going to have to experience as part of the cleansing that we talked about. That's what's we need a cleansing like this. And I always go back to it. They need to experience it. They need to see, Medicare. All these things that and a lot of the stuff he's doing, it's going to hurt his followers.
Yeah.
A lot of, and it, it's already started with the farmers, but it's going to hurt a lot of his, so they need to experience some of these things to see what they are supporting, because it was like, oh, I didn't think it was going to affect me,
Right.
but it is and it's going to get, as coming up later, Lenny's going to fill us in. It hadn't even got banned yet.
Right.
We'll get there. We don't want to take away from that, but yeah, I just had to go into that just a little bit because it just really, you're talking about the due process and everything. This is a circus, man. It's just ridiculous. Oh God.
It's like, we as a black culture, we were not afforded due process all the way up to the 60s.
Yeah, true.
We were not afforded due process at all. We're talking about the late 60s, early 70s.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We're not afforded due process. By the hard work and effort of a lot of blacks and a lot of good whites.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. A lot of people that wanted to see fairness and justice. That change came about.
Mm-hmm.
But, and maybe this is not the right time to say this, and I'm going to quote Reverend Wright, and I wish I had this clip. Mm-hmm. He said, America's chickens are coming home to roost.
America's chickens coming home to roost.
So when we see this, people not getting due process, not just black, but whites, Hispanics, if you sat on the sidelines during that time, it could be your son, your daughter, your grandchild, the one that doesn't have the due process. And you get out there and you marching, you screaming, this is not fair, this is not right. Mm-hmm. Everybody's going to have to, take a part in this, because everybody's going to get a haircut one way or another. And, we as a black race have seen this movie, and the sequel it was a bad movie, so the sequel was going to be worse.
Yeah, it is. That is, it's scary, but it's also, it angers a lot of us. And like I said, we will say black, white, but like I said, we are for everybody, but sometimes we have to zero in the way things affect certain folks. And this is something that when we come into the world as Black Generation Xers, we learn this from, when we first start learning how to read, we see visions of our ancestors hanging in trees, dogs chasing them, sometimes being dragged by a horse, set on fire, houses set on fire while whole families are inside houses. These are things that we see, because you'll get some people from another race and say, well, we don't do that now. No, that happened. But you also get some good folks from other races. They acknowledge that, and it angers them, and they feel ashamed, which I would feel ashamed as well if if we were in that situation,
Yeah.
if the roles were reversed, to know that my people did something like that,
Right.
because we're not about that. We've never been about that.
Nope.
And and to see that we could possibly, which a lot of people think we've already started going back that way,
Mhm.
even though a lot of these things are just executive orders, but to even hear that on the screen, to hear your children, your grandbabies, to hear this kind of stalkery, as you used to
Mhm.
say back in the day,
Yes.
and to hear that, to see that, it's scary, but scary angering.
Mhm.
And we as Black Generation X or men, we, as they say back in the day, we start to bowing up,
Mhm.
and we take every day bowing up. We go into protect mode,
Right.
and it's unless you've really experienced something like that, and that is not like we were there, but in talking to our ancestors, even talking to, like, I had some white gentleman I used to work with, awesome, just a great guy, just a great human. He said back in the day, he was a little bit older. He said when he came down from New York to visit his relatives in Florida, they stopped at a rest stop, and he saw two water fountains, and one water fountain said whites only. And he said that day changed him. I mean, he wasn't changed; he was a kid. But seeing that day, he was like, "No way!" And I think one said blacks, or it just said whites only, or I don't know. But he said it just his mind was just, and he was, when he told me this, he was like 60 something years old, and he, you know, people have experienced these things, and to getting back, like I said, going back to what Lenny said, due process, um, it really is mind blowing and scary, angering. So that's something that we definitely need to continue to talk to each other about.
No doubt. No doubt.
And because unless you know about it and have felt it through your ancestors as we have, you don't know the feeling. You don't know the feeling.
That's right.
And you think about your kids, your grandbabies, and you just this man has got to be stopped. His group has got to be stopped.
Right.
His regime has got to be stopped.
Yes.
This is tyranny. This is I mean, this is like the worst movie that you could experience with and we've seen a lot of those movies. We've heard the dogs. We heard those dogs barking, and you get that picture of Soldier of the Truth and the Underground Railroad, and you just wonder, like, what would I do? What would I do?
Right.
What would I do? And that's a bad feeling to have in 2025.
Well, I mean,
Anyway,
like I say, real quick, America had a choice. They were warned,
Yes.
don't go down that dark dirt road, because the guy down there with a hatchet is going to chase you and try to cut your head off. Don't go that way. You might not like this one, but it's safer. It's a safer route for you to go. But America chose to go down the dark, deep, dangerous path. And I don't know what they expected to happen on the other side, but everything that they were warned against, you're now you're finding out in the phase of finding out. Now there's another phase as well. It's called, when you find out what's going on and it's too late, you're getting your butt kicked, and after that, you might come through it once you got your head knocked in a few times. But we haven't even got that part yet.
Well, you said it. America chose this, and America chose this for various reasons. And you can't say, oh, they chose it, because there were some of us who strayed, or we feel have strayed away from what we think they should be following, but we don't make up that large of a population here in this country. You know that. So we know who chose it, and we know why they chose it.
Right.
It's nothing to say that we're hiding or biting our tongues about it. They chose it because, what is it that saying? It said, not all Trump supporters are racist, but all races
no
are Trump supporters.
Trump supporters, right?
Yeah, figure that one out.
Yeah.
Figure that one out. So not all Trump supporters are racist, but all races are Trump supporters. So that 34 felony count, the multiple times of racial comments and comments of marginalized people he's made, even that time when he was mocking that reporter, special needs reporter, who I believe had cerebral palsy, which I see that. I just lose it when I see that. But none of that was enough to make you say, let's vote for the right thing. Let's vote for, forget all this just parties. Let's vote for the right thing. But hey, he fooled you. And if you're listening to it, he fooled you, and you're gonna feel it. You're gonna feel it too.
Yeah.
And you can hold your pride there, but you're gonna walk in your store one day and it's gonna be some shelves empty, wherever you are. It's gonna get serious.
Right.
So we know why this was done. Why America. We didn't do it. Marginalized people didn't do it.
Right.
So and I'm not biting my tongue here because I got to be politically correct. No. Black folks didn't do that. Mm-hmm. People did this with racial problems in their quote unquote hearts, right, that's been passed through the line centuries. Mm-hmm. Somebody doesn't look like you. And this is, kids don't learn this stuff. It's taught to them.
It's taught. We
go back to how we were. We weren't taught to hate people. Our kids didn't. Our kids grew up together, and the kids loved them. All our kids.
Yeah.
You think back now, they all were popular.
All popular.
With everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Right.
And they didn't look at color.
No, they didn't.
They weren't taught like that. No. They weren't taught. And it just amazes you to think that, but then I come back, I bring it back in, and I say, if you voted for this, if you actually went out there and you voted for this and you feel that way, then I hope you get everything you voted for.
Right.
And I'm going to leave it right there.
I mean, you made so much good sense about it. I mean, and it's so easy to see that if could you get a job, a good job, not even a government job. You couldn't even get a job at Burger King or McDonald's. And nothing against Burger King and McDonald's. No, I'm not saying that. With 34 felonies on your application. Do you think those people would hire you? Mm-mm. If they did, they need a head examiner, okay? So the American people voted for 47 with 34 felonies. They need their head examined. There's something fundamentally wrong with those people who supported this lawless guy and voted for this felon.
But you call it a cult?
Well, it's more, to me.
It's a cult, right?
It's a cult, but it's more than a cult. I'm going to just say it. It's a way of life for them.
Yeah, it's a way of life in a cult. It's a cult says, somebody says, they got to pull you in some way. Yeah. They pull you in. They say things that are just like amazing, and you want to please them. So
yeah, I
mean that man could go stick your hand in that beehive, and let it stay there for 2 minutes.
Right.
You want to please I'm not going to say sad thing because I don't have feeling for these people, and I'm just being honest. I'm not going to bite my tongue about it. But the sad thing about it is they will be affected.
Yeah.
from that lower income level to that medium income level to that higher income level, they all are going to be affected.
Right.
You voted for something, you voted against yourself. He
Right.
fooled you, but he fooled you because of the racism that you have in your heart that you don't, some people don't even know it.
Right.
You don't know it. But we see this. We see this on our jobs.
Mhm.
People look at you a certain way, like, "Hey, you shouldn't be here," you know, or why
Right.
are you here? You
Right.
can sense that sometimes.
Mhm. Oh, yeah.
But that racism, that hate in your heart came up to where, no, I ain't voting for that black woman. I ain't voting for no black woman. A white woman, I ain't voting for no black woman. You crazy? I ain't voting for no black woman. They don't like us. Blah, 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 blah. And then, man, I mean, I can't. It's sad to say, even though I know there's some good folks out there. That particular MAGA man voting for Kamala Harris. Okay, all right. Vote. Here it is. Vote left hand. Vote for Kamala Harris. Right hand. Lose your farm that you've had in your family for 50 years.
Mhm.
What do you do? What do you do? You vote and lose your farm.
Yep.
Now you claim you feel bad, and you wish you hadn't done it. But now you lost your farm because all your workers, your quote unquote undocumented immigrants,
Mhm.
they're gone. Your crops, as you said,
Rotting in the field.
rotting in the field.
Rotting in the field.
But you voted for that.
Right.
So you deserve it.
Yeah.
You deserve it. You voted for it, you deserve it.
Right.
And I don't bite my tongue saying it. And I'm not, you deserve it. You were told.
So the day after the election, 50% of the people in this country got up feeling good, beating their chest, felt proud of what they did.
Yes. Yeah.
They were ecstatic. So that the wish master, they didn't know it at the time.
We got to do a show. We got to do a show on the Wishmaster. We got to do a show.
They didn't know it at the time, but I wonder how those people are waking up now. I wonder how do they roll out of bed and open the curtains and say, "What a great day! What a great 47 we got in office." You know, the sun is shining. I'm looking out over my fields. I'm not seeing I'm looking at the crops and the ears of corn rotting out in the fields, and no one's out there to pick the tomatoes and the sweet potatoes. They're rotting in
And
the
the
ground.
blueberries. Yeah.
Blueberries going bad. They don't have that good gushing of feeling now.
Mm-mm.
And you know what? You know, like you said, to your point, it's hard to get sympathy from me. It's really hard.
I have none.
It's really hard.
I have no sympathy.
I don't wish bad on anybody, but it's really hard when you forfeited not just your future, but your children and your grandchildren's future. You put you rolled the die, as they say, and you came up snake eyes. Beretta had a show. Remember Beretta? He said, "If you can't do the time, don't do the crime."
Don't do the crime.
There was also another part of that. He said, "Don't go to bed with no price on your head."
Yeah.
And he said, "Don't roll the dice if you can't make the sacrifice."
Beretta, the cop show from the 70s we used to watch. Really good show. Yeah, that was really good parallel there, Liddy. Yeah, I mean, I think of some of these people, and you know, you started out, you're saying they wake up and they're looking at their crops, but bring it in, let's reel it in a little bit even further. That guy that's sitting behind that computer, that's doing that programming, that guy that's managing that Fortune 500 company over here, and he's gonna be doing the same thing too. He didn't have crops, but he won't have shelves full that those crops would have been on.
Right.
So they're gonna feel it too.
Well, he won't be able to take that. He won't be able to take that big boat out into the water with those two big Yamaha 550 engines on the back.
Them Evinrudes.
And Evinrudes and go out there on the water all day long
them twin Evinrudes on the back,
Yes.
just swinging. Yeah.
Yeah.
You take it out there and probably run out of gas.
Pulling with that dually, that brand new dually truck you just went and financed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're gonna feel the
Yes.
squeeze.
Well, he might do it, but when he get back to the house,
Yeah.
Mama gonna be there with the groceries. You said you was gonna bring some groceries back.
Right. Can't eat
But-
fish every day.
Yeah, but she gonna go back. She gonna look in the back of the boat, and it's gonna be cases of Bush sitting in the back there.
Right.
I mean, so Mama gonna be upset.
Right.
Well, I went by the store, and there wasn't nothing there, so I just went fishing.
Yeah. We're just
So-
gonna refinance the house. Refinance the house, and
Oh my, yeah, exactly. So yeah, it's gonna be more
Yeah.
than those farmers. It's going, and then some people, like I heard a guy say today, they're so proud.
Yeah.
They're so proud that they could be just lying on the ground with nothing, and they say, "Would you have voted for Kamala?"
Yeah.
And they won't say anything, but
Yeah.
they proved it. They proved it, and let's be fair about it. They managed to finagle some marginalized folks in there. A few black folks, some Hispanics,
Yeah.
even some LGBTQ folks.
Yeah.
And a lot of the LGBTQ part of the margin, they are upset with each other. I mean, I've seen one is, how could you do that? How
Yeah.
could you? And which I believe one that comes to mind would be Caitlyn Jenner, or Bruce,
Yeah. Caitlyn Jenner.
who I hear who had a lot of transgender folks say that they don't look to that person, which that person is really turned them off or doesn't represent, so they don't
Right.
care too much. But I've heard that so many people from across the board, did throw their votes in it, but we must make this clear that 60% to 65% of Caucasian men and women voted for this,
Yeah.
which brings in that thing of a systemic thing, systemic. You can watch us put on that jersey and put those pads on that helmet and run that end around or run that 22 blast through the middle and make that touchdown, like what we used to do back in the day, and go around that corner there and on that slant end, and and then you can watch that,
Right.
and you can watch that guy go to that corner and hit that three all day,
Right.
Steph Curry all day, all night.
Right.
But when it comes to us being equal and somebody who can help you
Mhm.
because of the color of their skin, you turn against them. And which in turn, you turn against yourself, your daughter, your wife, your kids, everybody. You turn against them when you do that.
Right.
And that really, man, it just stinks. It sucks, man.
Yeah.
And to know that you see people like that daily.
Yep.
That's the way they feel. I would hate to go into battle with people like this.
Right.
I can't, because you think about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You might get shot in the back.
Yeah. It doesn't. But if you did it, you deserve everything that's coming to you.
Yeah.
And on that note, right now we're going to take a break, and we'll be back with more The Soul of Generation X.
You're listening to The Soul of Generation X, and you can find The Soul of Generation X on Apple Podcast, Spotify Podcast, and wherever you get your podcast.
Welcome back to The Soul of Generation X. We have an update. Lenny's actually going to give us an update on the shipping and trucking logistics commentary that he gave us last week. We have some breaking news, literally, that is taking place in the last, as I said, the last week or so. And he's going to give us some really important info and an update on his commentary. Take it away, Lynn.
Thank you so much, Isaac. Just to follow up on what I discussed last week in my commentary about the shipping, receiving, cargo, container, and trucking. Speaking with the CEO of the Port of Los Angeles, I didn't personally speak with him, but reading his commentary and his interviews all on TV and NPR, specifically, the tariffs are having a grave effect already on the traffic of these ports in the United States. So the cargo at the Port of Los Angeles is down 35%. So Los Angeles is the biggest port in the United States, biggest cargo port in the United States. That's where most of your goods that come from China come to the LA port. Also, there's Long Beach port. Then you got Seattle and a few others. But Los Angeles is by far the biggest on the West Coast and in the United States. So you're talking about losing 35% of your work. So that means longshoremen will be out of work. That means lashers and ship captains and deckhands will be out of work. You're talking about rail cars not being able to get moved, so you're losing people on the railways. And the biggest loss is going to be the truckers, because if there are no containers to move to these products to your big box stores like Walmart and Costco and Sam's, then how are they going to get there? By truck? So if you don't have the truck drivers who are out of work, who has, they got to pay their note on the truck every month. You got to pay their insurance. And, owner operators, they really have to make sure that they have steady income coming every week. So it has a crippling effect. These tariffs are nothing more than a tax on the American consumer. Let no one tell you different. This is not something that China or any other country is going to pay. You are going to pay it. When you go to the store and you used to paying $5 for an item, you're going to pay $10 for an item. That same item that you paid $5 for last week, next week could be $10 or $15. So let no one fool you. Don't be, persuaded that, hey, it's not going to affect me, because it will affect you. It's going to affect you. And I'm just telling people because I know I'm in this business. It takes 30 to 40 days for a container ship to get from China to Los Angeles when you're crossing the Pacific Ocean. And you're talking about 20-foot containers. So when you have tariff, you have higher prices, small business going out of business because they can't, they don't have the overhead to hold out like these big box stores. You got inflation that rises. And just a 25% tariff will put anybody out of business, any small business out of business. I heard the president, 47, say the other day that we don't need anything from any other country. We don't get that much from Canada, which he's absolutely wrong, because Canada and Mexico are our two biggest trade partners. All right? We get more stuff from Canada and Mexico than we do from China. But what makes China so different is that China has a lot of goods that everyday Americans need. You need computer chips. You need paper towels. You need bottled water. You need cans to put sodas in. All that stuff is made in China. So when you talk about putting 145% tariffs on anything coming out of China, these big box stores aren't going to pay it because it's going to eat at their bottom line, and their shareholders are the ones who's going to be kicking and screaming that they're not making any money. So it's frustrating because you hear the lies that you see on some of these news outlets that are just lying for 47 and lying for the president. They're not telling you the truth. But I'm just here to tell you that, tariffs are going to hurt the average American. Unless you're making a whole bunch of money. When I'm talking about a whole bunch of money, I'm not talking about just $100,000. Unless you're making over $200,000, $250,000, you're going to feel the pinch. All right, you're going to feel it. So when you start seeing these shelves get empty, as they have already warned, in 3 or 4 weeks, you're going to start seeing less product on the shelves. You're going to see less paper towel, less toilet paper, less bottled waters, less sodas, canned goods. This is real, folks. If you haven't started, and I'm not trying to hit the panic button, but I'm just trying to give you some advice. Start stocking up on essential items immediately. Immediately. Those of you who have been through a natural disaster like a hurricane or a tornado or earthquake, you know how it is when you try to go to the store, nothing's left but a can of soup. And you try to take care of your family on one can of soup. So I'm imploring everyone that's listening to us here in this country, stock up right away. Don't be fooled by these naysayers that believe in 47. Oh, nothing's going to happen. Because I can tell you this, they're going to be one of the first ones down there hoarding everything up before you do. So get there, get there early, get your items. So you got to survive. You can order these rations where it can last you 30 to 90 days. All right. You're going to have to, spend a little money, but it's going to be well worth it in the end. But I'm here to tell you, I'm here to sound the alarm, folks. This is real. This is serious. Don't believe what this guy's telling you, because 47 hasn't done anything in his whole life but con people and lie to people. We think about COVID. Oh, COVID, you don't have to worry about it. It's just a cold. We got it under control. Over 1 million people, maybe 5 million people died. But you cannot listen to a guy that's a con artist. I hate to see you in the bread line scrapping for food and there's nothing left. So I ask that you stock up, keep listening to credible news sources, NPR, some of these outlets on YouTube. Listen to our program, because we're going to give it to you straight. But I just don't want you to think that this is something that you're not going to be affected by, because you will.
Awesome commentary, Lenny, and we'll be right back after these messages.
You're listening to The Soul of Generation X, and you can find The Soul of Generation X on Apple Podcast, Spotify Podcast, and wherever you get your podcast.
Welcome back to the Soul of Generation X. Excellent commentary by our one and only Lenny there. He's been in that business for a quarter of a century, and he knows what he's talking about. Take heed, take some notes, and he won't lead you wrong. Lenny, have we gotten anything from Washington concerning the tariffs?
Yes. This is late breaking news that 47 is digging his. Well, let me set the plate up. So the Commerce Secretary for the United States is meeting with China officials. I believe it's in Switzerland, if I'm not mistaken. Discuss the tariffs, to lay the groundwork to start having a conversation about the tariffs. Not saying they're going to lower whatever. They're just to lay the groundwork on something they want to put on the table. So 47, before the sun could go down, before his Commerce Secretary could get on the plane and go over to Switzerland and start negotiating, he's digging in his heels saying that he is non-negotiable on lowering the 145% tariffs on China.
So he said that today?
Today.
I missed that.
Today.
Wow.
So
must have been this evening.
Yeah, late this evening.
Okay.
So before the negotiation even starts, he's already blowing it up. Because if we have agreed, okay, I'm going to fly all the way to Switzerland to meet with you.
Oh my God.
And so we can just start having a conversation about the tariffs, lowering the tariffs, whatever.
What?
And you put out this late breaking statement while the man is in the air flying to meet with the officials from China. You have virtually cut his legs from up under.
Man, get that lunatic out of it. Get that lunatic. Go sit him. Are you serious? He did that this evening.
Yes.
Hey, once again, you get what you voted for.
You get what you voted for.
But so we all gonna be all in the same pot.
That's the worst kind of negotiation you can have. I mean, anybody in their right mind, and he can't be in his right mind.
Well, we know that.
You set up a meeting. Before I can get there, you've already undercut and poisoned the water.
Poison the water.
I wouldn't be surprised if China get in that plane and go right back to China and say, you know what? Talk to me when you get serious.
They already talked to President Claudia Sheinbaum out of Mexico, Mexico's outstanding president. And so they will go where they need to go.
Yeah.
They took Team U and Sheen. They've made they've had talks, and I guess some things have been signed concerning Team U and Sheen.
Yeah.
And they wasted no time doing that. And as well, in that I brought up Claudia Sheinbaum. She also this week refused help from your president, 47. He was wanting to send U.S. troops to Mexico to, quote unquote, help fight the cartels. So Claudia Sheinbaum said no. So she's continuing her stance against his foolishness.
Mm-hmm.
And that's I mean, so Mexico and Canada, just outstanding, just presidential figures and how they've carried themselves. Booking in the middle of a clown that we have, basically.
Right.
So
he's a total embarrassment.
A clown.
His
that is ridiculous. What you just said just now, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's new to me on the air right now.
Yeah. His news conference yesterday was just, I'm speechless on this guy's news conference that he had with the Prime Minister of Canada. When he is still repeating this nonsense in front of the man. You put out a statement of discrediting Canada before you met with the guy.
Now, I did see that.
And you meet with the guy and you say, Canada needs to be the 51st state. So the guy just politely and carved him up, say, there's a lot of things. You're a real estate guy. There's a lot of things that you don't sell. You wouldn't sell the White House, and you wouldn't sell Buckingham Palace or the Vatican. And the Canadian citizens and myself have said that Canada was not for sale.
Not for
It
sale.
will never be for sale.
Would never be for
So
sale.
you
I
can
heard,
just
yeah.
leave that alone.
You can leave that, go
Leave it
back.
alone. And
Oh,
it just carved them up so nicely, like a
like a
roasted
nice,
pig.
like a prime rib.
Oh yeah, carved them up so good.
Just like some prime rib, just some nice,
Yeah,
juicy
I went
prime
back
rib.
and watched it because he actually agreed with the Prime Minister of Canada before. He told him that we'll never be for sale. He's like,
Oh God.
oh yeah.
Well, you got to think about it, Lenny. Who gave him that? Because you know it's all scripted. You know that. So who told him? You wondering, is it Stephen Miller? Is giving him all this, it probably is Stephen Miller. So he didn't know what he's talking about. It's just a puppet.
Yeah.
So, but still, but at least when you're going to have a puppet, make the puppet look like he got some sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Since we were talking about real quick, since we were talking about scary movies, you remember the movie Magic with the puppet?
Oh man, that was
Yeah.
that was wild.
Yeah.
That's psychologically.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah. I don't like puppets now because of that. I don't like. Man, yeah. You had to bring that up. Yeah.
If you had to go back and watch that movie because actually the puppet started talking through the man.
Yeah.
The man became the puppet.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that is what we are basically dealing with. A puppet. And I say it, I don't really get upset with him because I know it's being fed. It's being spoon fed. But you think about it. If you're going to spoon feed something or somebody, spoon feed something with some sense that even looks it looks like acts like they got some sense. I mean, that's the part I don't understand. What are these people scared of? There's something somebody, does he have something on each one of these people that he could destroy them? You think about it. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Think about it. Because you got people like, you got people in the trenches, like, AOC. I love me some AOC.
Right.
And you got Bernie Sanders, love some Bernie. I mean, you get Jasmine Crockett.
Right.
They're not worried about nothing, man. They go out, but you got these people, these spineless people, Rubio, all these people that giving up, I mean, advanced degrees that they've had, that, even being Republicans, you don't always agree, but they're doing what's right for their constituents, which is what you're supposed to be doing when you're a politician, right?
Right.
But you got this, they're playing to this clown, man.
Yeah.
And like I said, if you hear us saying this, anybody, I don't care if you're a supporter, you're not supporter, read Mary Trump's first book on that family. And that will tell you everything you need to know why we're experiencing what we're experiencing.
Right. Well, we talk about, we try to compare this to the Jim Jones and Ghana.
Right.
But the difference with Jim Jones and 47 is when those people got over there to Guyana, if I'm saying it right.
No, you're right, Guyana.
They were forced at gunpoint to drink the Kool-Aid or the
punch or whatever.
Punch, whatever it was. They were forced at gunpoint.
True.
All right. So when they got over there, they realized that, wait a minute, something not right here. But so if they tried to run, they got shot. So they were actually forced to drink it.
Remember that.
So the regime cult that 47 has, these people have volunteered themselves.
We think they volunteered.
They volunteered themselves.
But what I'm saying, think about that. We think they volunteered. It's something, all these movies we watch. It's something in the mix, It's something it's not right. It's something that makes these highly intelligent people, which a lot of them are, highly intelligent people.
They
What is
I think about the Christian nationalists, the Christian, so-called Christians.
that's the first group he got.
They volunteered themselves
Yeah, that's
to
the
be
first.
deceived, to be taken in by the wishmaster. They fell for it. They got taken in.
They brought the devil in the church. Is that what you're saying, Lynn? They brought the
saying
devil.
They acquiesced.
What's that about?
They let
Expound
him
on
in.
that.
They let him in
Open
willingly.
the door.
They opened the door and say, "Hey, come on in."
Come on
man,
in.
Because you know what? Because you speaking our language.
You
You like
speaking
what
our
you're
language.
saying.
Yeah, come on in.
Yeah.
We're
Church
gonna bypass and not look at our values.
Yeah.
We're gonna be quote unquote Christians, but as our brother would say, there's a difference between a Christian and a Jesus follower.
Yeah.
If you're gonna they're not Jesus followers.
No.
They're pulling the word Christian in. If you're gonna
Right.
be like Jesus, you follow Jesus.
Right.
Jesus wouldn't. So are you a Jesus follower, or are
Right.
you a evangelical Christian that you make up your rules as you go?
Right.
So they're not Jesus followers.
Right.
That's why I look at it now.
Yeah. We
So,
used
you
to
know,
have a word for them back in the days. These pastors and preachers come up. We used to call them jack leg preacher, or that jack leg
Jackleg.
pastor. You know.
Okay. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I have to put the same label on some of these people that are so-called Christian, because my thing is, and to your point, would Jesus follow Donald Trump?
No. Well, actually, I take that back. Jesus would bring him in and say, brother, come here. Let me cleanse you. Jesus wouldn't, because when you think about it, Jesus was in the bars. Jesus was in the strip clubs. Jesus was in the whole house, as they say. Jesus was on the side of the road. Jesus was with the worst. He was with the worst people. So yes, he would say, Donnie, come here. Let me touch this. Go ahead.
I don't want to, and I'm not trying to get off too far into the religious part of it, but I'm not trying to speak for Jesus, but I don't think that Jesus would want to be fooled.
Lenny, you speaking with, did you call it?
With the Pharisees and the Sadducees and the rich people.
Okay.
And I think he would have cast Donnie off like he did the swines and over the cliff.
Wait a minute. Hold on now. Wait a minute. Lenny, hold on. Lenny, are you saying, let's get this right. So you're saying that you think Jesus would cast away Donnie, number 47?
Because in his present state, he didn't suffer fools, man. He didn't play around with fools.
Oh, okay.
He beat the people out of the temple for gambling.
Yeah.
He said it's harder for a rich man to go, it's easier for a camel to go through half a needle.
Yeah.
Because he asked me, he said, you want to follow me? Get rid of all your worldly possessions.
Yeah. Okay.
And the rich guy, he went away sad. He's like, dang, I got to get this up to follow him. You think Donald Trump would give him all his Bitcoin fortunes and his Trump plazas?
Oh God, the Bitcoin. That's the whole
humble
nother
himself.
Thing. Oh my gosh.
No.
That's no.
He couldn't. He wouldn't fool Jesus. You know, he'd give him opportunity, but the guy like 47 be like, no, I can't do that. I'm sorry.
So Lenny, you're saying, let's get this right now. You're saying that we're dealing with such an incredible lunatic that Jesus, the Almighty Jesus, would cast him away?
He would give him opportunity like he gave everybody else an opportunity. But with the narcissistic, the self-absorbed, prideful person that 47 is, he would reject it. He would turn away.
Even see now, ladies and gentlemen, what Lenny just said just now, we're laughing about it, but when you think about it, that has some meaning to show you the evilness and mess that we're dealing with and that people voted for. that even Jesus would not want to have anything to do. And you think about that, you say, like, those bracelets, what would Jesus do? WWJD, what would Jesus do? That's like a big, but Jesus would not want to deal. And once again, I'm gonna go back to Mary Trump's book. If you read that book and you relate that to what Lenny just said, I can see Jesus saying, "Man, I don't want nothing to do with this joke. I'm just nah. Y'all take it." So I can.
I'm not a Bible scholar, and I'm not trying to speak for Jesus, but I do know some scriptures. I do know individuals, and his attitude toward people. Because one thing about you want to treat others like you want to be treated.
Correct.
So that's why you got to think about this now. That's why he don't care what you call him, what you say about him. He'll greet you like nothing ever happened. Like, hey brother, hey. If I just called you a dog, or you just called me a dog, you think everything was all right. Mm-hmm. That's how his mind is. Mm-hmm. He has a mind of, he has that persuasion. He tries to be that angel of light, of goodness. Look I'm doing so good. But in actuality, he's a horrible individual.
Yes, horrible.
He's rotten to the core.
Rotten to the core.
Rotten to the core.
The devil at its finest. Yeah, we're saying it. We said it. When we don't bite our tongue. You've brought those of you who are listening to this, who did this, no matter who you are, whatever you look like, you've brought the devil into our house. Yeah. You brought evil into our house. Like some of the, like I'm a horror movie fan, and sci-fi horror, all that stuff. You let that demon in. Yeah. And he's literally destroying our house, our country. Somebody who cares nothing for you. If you can't give him something, which y'all can't, I don't know if whoever might be, who knows who's this. If you can't give him something, he cares nothing for you, but you cared for him to bring him in to our house. This is our house. But I'm go back to what I said. You brought him in. You deserve everything that he brings to you. Right. I have no sympathy for anyone who checked the box by his name. This, I mean, you signed away your standards of living for you and your family. Everybody, you cared nothing. You will profit zero. You will not profit by this. Mm-hmm. But the cleansing that we need, you deserve it. And there are those of us, like Lenny and myself, we'll go through it. We're ready. We are ready. We've been through things like this. And, in certain ways, storms and various things like that. But we're willing, I'm willing to sacrifice to watch you fall. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'll call it a cleanse. Maybe it's a cleanse. Because this, I know, in the future will help, or may help, my kids and my grandkids. Mm-hmm. We need this cleansing. You need to see and feel what you've done. Hey, I don't have to have vegetables. I take my vitamins, and I don't have to have all these fresh vegetables. Like these farmers that already lost their farms, which Kamala Harris helped create a bill to help them, right, Lee?
Yeah, that's right.
But you voted against it. Now you're sitting in the middle of your field on the back of a John Deere tractor with no gas in it, a diesel, saying,
make payments for?
and you get payments on that, on your equipment, on your house, and you're sitting there with nothing.
Yeah.
So you deserve everything you and this in general, anybody. And I'm not saying this to be mean. I'm just saying that this is almost like a Machiavellian type of thing.
Mhm.
You ask for this, you need to go through it.
Right.
You need to go through it. Cleanse yourself. Your cleansing may cleanse your future generations to make the hearts of your offspring not be as evil and hateful, even though you smile in my face every day.
Exactly.
So that's something we need to go through. And I'm telling you, I'm ready, man. I am. I mean, we're doing what we're doing to try to hopefully help somebody out there, and we bring these things up for discussion because we're gonna, like Lenny said earlier, we're gonna tell you the real deal.
Yeah.
The news is most of the news, 70, 80% of news on television, they're not telling you what you need to know.
Right.
So you're gonna have to go to other sources like us,
Yep.
other channels, YouTube, podcasts,
Yep.
because you're not gonna get you're gonna be the wool's gonna be pulled over your head.
Yeah.
But we hope we don't. But even though I want you to go through it, and I have no sympathy for you, I don't hate you.
Right.
I don't hate you.
I don't hate you.
Your brother, your sister to me, your brother, I don't care what color you are, your brother, your sister, I don't hate you, but you need to go through it.
Right.
Anything, Lenny?
No, I mean, you hit the nail on the head. I mean, I would just echo those sentiments that, you know, we don't hate, we don't promote hate, but I'm disgusted with some things that took place, that happened. You know, your vote, your choices lets me know that, you know, do you really care? Are you really for equality? Are you really for due process? You know, I was sitting there thinking, I said, you know what? We need our own Night Stalker to go into this administration. We need our own Carl Kolchak.
Oh man, you bring back Kolchak. Look at it. Pulling out the trivia again. Look at that, man.
Go in and find out what the root cause of all this is, which we know what it is, but we need to call Kolchak
to find out that evil. Find out what the root evil.
Carl Kolchak, played by Darren McGavin.
Darren McGavin.
But no, what you said was absolutely correct, and you know, we're gonna have to hit probably rock bottom. This country is gonna have to feel it. And I go back to what Reverend Wright said years ago when they were trashing Obama for going to the man church. America's chickens coming home to roost. You know, we're gonna give it to you in layman's term. We're not gonna sugarcoat it. We're not gonna, you know, put a bunch of numbers out at you. We're not gonna talk in platitudes.
Straight, no chaser, right? Straight, no chaser.
Straight, like that Casamigo with no chaser.
Straight, no chaser.
No chasers. So, you know, I just, you know, everything you said, everything that we talked about, I think was on point. You know, we have to be vigilant. We have to understand what the root problem is. And, you know, I'm not opposed to putting the blame on who needs to be blamed for this.
Exactly.
Lay it at their feet. Lay it at their feet.
I hear it, Lenny, I hear it daily from Black podcasters, white podcasters, Hispanic podcasters, real people. This is not a color thing. Our skin may be different colors, but our minds and our hearts are in the same place.
Yeah.
So I hear the same thing. This is not a racial thing. I hear the same thing what Lenny just said. We're going to put the blame on who did it. If you're a part of that, you did it.
You did it.
We're not picking on one group. So that is a great point that you made. I mean, because I hear that daily. I mean, you know, our buddy John Fugelsang, John echoes that sentiment all the time. We love John. John, I mean, it just is he's got an amazing way to put politics in the comedy, and it kind of calms you as you're listening to him, but you're still feeling it. And John would say the same thing. So this is not a black or white thing. This is a human thing. So I like that, Lenny. Yeah. That makes
One other thing I want to say, we're getting close to the end, but it was reported, and I did some digging.
okay. All right.
That the young lady Ashley Babbitt, who stormed the Capitol
Oh my God.
on January the 6th, who was shot and killed after disobeying direct orders
Direct
from the police in the Capitol, trying to break into where the senators and the representatives were hiding to back up. She was shot through a small window in the neck. So now, 47 in his Justice Department, Pam Bundy, have came up with a settlement to compensate the family of the insurrectionist.
I heard about that.
Ms. Babbitt. Now, Ms. Babbitt should have been home with her family, her husband and her kids that day instead of joining up with these lunatics from the Capitol.
Exactly.
She should have been home. She should have been alive today.
Yes.
She should have been alive. It was her fault.
Yes.
And I'm going to lay the blame on her feet, and I'm not, it's sad that she got killed, but she didn't have to die.
Did not. Exactly.
She should have been home with her family. She could have watched it on TV. You could support from afar.
Her blood
but
is
she
on
chose to
your
enter the
president.
Capitol.
Yeah.
And get
let her
shot and killed. So now, the 47 and his administration, along with Attorney General Pam Bondi, have come to an agreement with the family of Ashley Babbitt for $30 million taxpayer dollars.
30 million say it again, Lenny.
30 million taxpayer dollars.
Yeah.
So when you look at your check and you see that FICA, you can just say, you know what? Some of this is going to Ashley Babbitt for stupidity.
Exactly. That is so, for our younger listeners, and just like, once again, for those who just don't understand what Lenny just said just now. I know we're in a lot of electronic mode now where we, everything gets put in our accounts and we don't always look at our statements. But what Lenny said just now, he said, check your FICA.
Yeah.
Check your FICA.
Yeah.
That is what goes to the federal government.
Yeah.
And when you look at that with the example he just gave just now of Ashley Babbitt, who should have been alive today.
Yeah.
Who should have never been there with all those lunatic, mostly males.
Yeah.
Not that a woman can't be a lunatic, but mostly males and we don't even know who she was there with.
Yeah.
Okay. But she shouldn't have been there. She should have been here on this earth breathing today. But she did not follow orders that were given. Well, let's say this first of all. She was led there by your leader. Your leader, number 47, Donald Trump. Her blood is really on his hand and on his face.
Yeah.
That's where her blood. He led her there, led all of them there. But she gets there. She suffered misfortune through a cult, basically. But now, as Lenny said, and I heard this today, and I could not believe it, they're awarding her family $30 million.
$30 million.
That will be paid by all of us.
Yeah. All
of us. So when you just check your FICA, like he said. Just check your FICA, because if that is awarded, we don't know, could that be fought in a civil lawyer, maybe? Lynn, because it's not in stone yet. We don't know. It's not in stone. But
the family has asked for $30 million, which the Trump administration had thought thinks that's a fair settlement.
But Lenny, let me ask you this. Okay, being that that's our money, can't we fight that as well? which I'm sure some of it's that law, it's that group out of we should be able to fight that because that's our money.
Well,
Is it not?
a civil suit. I guess it's a civil suit.
Or
they'll-
hold
they'll
it up.
Hold it up, But
Yeah, we should be able to do something like that. So let's not claim that yet. What do you think?
well, I'm not gonna. Well, I can say yeah, don't claim yet, but it's moving pretty fast. It's going to move pretty fast to the courts. Unless you get a judge that say, "Hey, hold it up."
Well, let's get a judge. Oh,
Yeah.
let's hope that because some of our judges have been coming through.
So they're trying to
A
settle
lot of
it
it.
to avoid a public trial. So that's why they're trying to rush to get it settled because they don't want to go to trial. Because I think if it goes to trial,
Well, a few $100,000 compared to 30 million. Hey, I'd be for it. You know.
Well, the guy the officer that shot her, he gave her plenty of time, warned her plenty of times not to try to enter into not the Capitol. She was already in the Capitol. She was trying to get into the Speaker's office at that
Nancy
time with
Pelosi.
Nancy Pelosi. Yeah,
Yeah.
and she was warned multiple times.
Multiple times, right? Mm-hmm.
So she was not an innocent bystander. She was a willing and active participant to cause mayhem and destruction. And when
To
warned,
the Speaker of the House. Yeah.
she kept coming and kept coming. And now she's former military as well. She's former
Okay.
military.
Okay.
So she knew better. She disobeyed a direct order from law enforcement.
Mm-hmm.
So when he fired that round into her neck,
Mm-hmm.
it pierced her jugular vein and she bled out. And I don't
Right.
make it sound graphic, but this is
Yes.
this is the hard-headedness of his followers.
Mm-hmm.
They think they can say and do anything and it won't be consequences. Now she paid with her life.
Mm-hmm.
Her kids and her husband will never see her again. They'll live comfortably on a $30 million payout, but she had to give her life for an idiot. She died for Trump.
A
She
lunatic.
died for him.
Yes. Exactly.
Like who does that?
It makes and he's not held accountable. And you can add that to the 2 to 3, 4 million that he caused to die through COVID.
Yeah,
He's basically a international murderer
yeah.
with 34 felonies.
Let's storm the Capitol, you guys, and I'm going with you. She went down there and got her head blew off.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. But an order, like you said, an order was given.
stop.
Stop. Yeah.
Don't proceed. Stand down.
Stand down. Yeah.
But you want to keep coming and clawing and think you can't be stopped because 47 told you to do it, or 45 at that time, and you're going to get killed. Now you want your family gets 30 millions of my hard-earned money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's.
Make it make sense.
I'm wondering if this officer would he, just like a case, a local, case, would he have something to say, or could he fight this? You know what I mean? Could he anything to hold this up? You know what I mean? Something. We're gonna be on the lookout for that, but I'm gonna keep an eye on this case, because even if we got to hold it up, because that's just not right.
It's not right.
It's not right. I don't know these people. I don't know her people, but then again, we didn't invite her there or ask her to go.
So what about the officers that were killed, that suffered heart attacks and brain injuries?
Yeah,
that were killed. What kind of compensation?
Well,
Will
who
that
are we
family
dealing
get?
with?
Yeah.
Come on, who are we dealing with? So that's out the window right there. We're dealing with a lunatic, deranged lunatic. That's not all him, but it's his people.
Yeah.
These people who are, what I'm hearing the word now, sycophants.
Right.
That's the word now. That's been the catchphrase, the catchword. His sycophants
Yeah.
that are literally cult members themselves as well.
Right.
So, and doing something right, what you said just now about those no, that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
But these people that have caused this, from the Supreme Court judge
Yeah.
to the people who voted for him,
Yep.
to the spineless Republicans that we have in the House right now, who look away to every nonsensical evil thing that they turn the other way.
Yeah.
I mean, so people are so upset, and even some of our, because we're progressive Democrat, but this Gavin Newsom, people are so upset with what he's doing.
Yeah.
Why is he doing? Is he tasting the Kool-Aid? And then I'm hearing now, which I am really disappointed in this person here, Governor Whitmer,
Oh yeah.
Gretchen Whitmer. I'm hearing bad things about how she's embracing number 47.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm hearing that. I'm like, wait a minute, not Big Gretch.
Not only Gavin Newsom, a Big Gretch, the mayor of D.C.
No.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
Man, something is going on. It's an evil entity, supernatural entity. I mean, we watch all these movies, but something is going on that we don't know about. Obviously, we don't know, but Canada and Mexico know.
They know. China knows.
China, Canada, and Mexico, maybe we need to pack up, I don't know.
I think we need like I said, we need our cold shack to go in and find
somebody needs to find out what, but when you got people backing this, that, and the first thing is opportunist.
Yeah.
How much money? I mean, we talked about the guy, the quarterback, JR from Oklahoma. Remember the old quarterback from back in the day? Oh gosh. Oh man, what was his name? James.
The quarterback.
Yeah, from Oklahoma. That he became a Republican senator.
I think it was a representative.
A representative.
Oh,
How he drank the Kool-Aid.
Yeah. I got to think of his name.
I can't think of his name either. And he drank the Kool-Aid for the longest until they were able to pin something on him, and he eased on out.
Yeah.
And you're like, wondering, why was this brother doing? I mean, then you think about it. Well, he was an opportunist. I guess maybe did he really believe in all the things he was signing and legislating? But this is something going on with that. But at any rate,
J.C. Watts.
Oh, okay.
Watts,
You didn't.
yeah.
Well, hey, I was wondering. Was Lenny gonna leave me hanging out there? But Lenny left me hanging way out. I was on the end of that branch.
J.C. Watts.
Lenny, I was watching him. He left me hanging way out there. That branch was cracking. Then he pulled me in.
J.C. Watts, yes.
J.C. Watts. Right. Yeah. He and we always used to joke about that, brother. We'd say, man, we just talk about he'd get home every day to his wife and look at it and say, hey, we fooled him again.
Yeah, we fooled him.
We fooled him again. He'd go back out, do another day of work. And he did, what, about 10, 15 years or more?
Yeah,
like
20 years. About 10 years, he had a good run.
And you're saying, like, man, they're going to find something. And I used to say, before you know it, they'd find that he had to ease on out of there.
Well, he eased out gracefully. He didn't cause any waves.
Yeah, he eased on out.
He was a different kind of politician or Republican brother than
Yeah.
this guy Tim Scott was.
Oh,
is.
Boy,
Tim Scott is. I don't even.
that's your
I
buddy.
don't know what to say. I don't know what to
Tim
say about Tim Scott.
and your other boy from here in Florida,
Aaron Donaldson.
Donaldson.
Donaldson, yeah.
Donaldson something.
He tried to fit in. That's what he tried to do.
So he was trying to come from out in the field to the house.
No, I think with Donaldson, I think he's just trying to fit in like a puzzle piece. But Tim Scott is like trying to put a square peg into a round hole.
All right.
It just don't work. I mean, his whole countenance, his whole aura, is just like, come on, man, just stop it. Just stop.
But you know what, Lenny? He manages to keep a smile no matter what. That's what I can't. I mean, the brother's always smiling. So does he know something we don't know?
No,
Something.
that's just that. You know, that's just the ignorance. This ignorant.
You think it's ignorance?
That's not ignorant. That's ignorant.
Ignorant. You think it's that bad?
It's that bad. He's like,
I mean,
you ever saw Walt Disney characters?
Yeah, Walt Disney. Yeah.
He reminds me of the Goofy. Always got them teeth showing.
Oh gosh, not Goofy. You didn't take Tim to Goofy.
Goofy.
You really think that these people don't know what they're doing? Some of them. He's one of them. You don't think he has like a vision that if I do this, I can get this, I can take this, I can add this to my. You don't. So you just think he's just. It's got to be something, didn't it?
No, as my grandmother used to say, boy, stop putting on. Stop putting on. That's all you're doing is putting on.
Putting on.
Yeah.
And for those of y'all, that means it's just an act.
This is an act that the worst kind of acting. Listen, this is worse than the movies that you saw in the 50s and the 40s. He has taken a page. No, he has wrote a script that nobody else has written.
But I mean,
I just have to shake my head when I see this guy.
I know that's your buddy. That's why I say that's your buddy. You always got something to say about some.
I just look at him with sadness.
You don't feel sorry for him?
No, I don't feel sorry for him. He makes himself like a jackass every time he talks or interview something. He is that type of, what, if I was in college and when I was in school, when I saw that guy, I'd be like, I would have some choice words for him.
You would?
You suck up, you.
Yeah. Because he keeps a smile on his face. I've never seen him. I mean, that's the part that gets me. He knows something.
Well, see the guy, and see what make it so bad. I guess what make it so bad. He from South Carolina.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And man, you know how hard it was for people in South Carolina.
Oh yeah. I know.
And you go around smiling like everything is okay in your life every single day.
Every day.
You didn't get a job in the White House.
And did he buy a wife or did he rent a wife?
I don't even know if he got married.
Was that a farce?
That was
something
a farce.
Something going on there? You sure?
That was a farce. That was a farce. He's not the type of guy like J.C. Watts you could deal with. I could deal with a guy like that. We
charismatic.
Yeah, I could deal with a guy like Daniel Cameron, button up,
Yeah,
brother like that.
Charismatic.
Donaldson and especially Tim Scott. No, there's no way I would want to hang with those guys.
Mm-hmm.
They disgusting. They're disgusting. Well, especially Scott. He is the ultimate disgust. Him and Clarence Thomas, the two most disgusting black people in my book.
Now you're talking.
Those are the two most disgusting black people in my book. Those two guys.
And Candace Owens.
But Candace Owens, she got
She trying
taken down a
to
few notches.
backtrack now. Talking about what she say?
Yeah.
I don't go for it.
But you know what? You made your bed, so lay into it.
Yeah.
You decided to hook up your saddle to another horse, but now you got thrown off of. Now you want to come crawling back. So no,
Yeah.
But I don't even give her the time of day. But these
Clarence
two,
Thomas,
these two, and I'm just being honest. Like this, Clarence Thomas disgusts me to no end.
Lenny, how do you support a bill? Now, I heard this the other day, and I said, this got to be an onion joke. Okay, his wife is Caucasian, right?
Yes.
You know the bill I'm talking about? He was supporting to disassemble or something about interracial marriage.
Yeah,
Did you hear it?
Yeah.
And somebody made a joke that maybe he's tired of his wife. I mean, I thought it was a joke.
So that's like I cross over the bridge. Now I'm going to blow it up so none of you, the rest of you ML can't cross it. We finna end this interracial stuff. It ends with me.
That's a good one. I like that. I like that one.
It ends with me.
Because I'm just trying to understand, like, what did she say to him? Well, I mean, can you picture that household?
Well, I can picture him, cowering down and
she runs the house, right?
Telling everything in the bedroom, and she making all the decisions. Well, when you get back on there and put the black robe on, you need to say this and you need to do this, and I can see him doing it.
And you know what? I'm gonna tell you, we joking, to our audience, we talk about, we try to bring, some comedy and jokes into the seriousness of this. Pretty much everything we do. But what Lenny just said just now, and we do a lot of research, and we were talking about Mary Trump's book about your president. Well, believe it or not, if you get a chance, check out, and I know some of y'all will be like, oh, no. Check out Clarence Thomas's biography.
Yeah.
And I mean, really, check it out. I think I got halfway through it. But you will say to yourself, with the way this guy came up, and I'm not going to give too much away, but he didn't come up. He didn't come up rich in a family that had riches. Just he didn't come up. He wasn't quote unquote blessed with all that kind of stuff, and try to equate that with his actions. And it would just throw you off. It'd be to read that and see. It just doesn't. It's unfathomable. But I just had to add that in there.
Well, I'm glad you kind of teased. I just want to add on to that little tease. If anybody knows where pinpoint Montgomery, Georgia is located on the map, please let me know, because that's the birthplace of Clarence Thomas.
Yeah, and the book actually talks about that. And if you start, if you start reading this book, no matter if it is Clarence Thomas, I'm gonna be serious. It's so sad with the way he describes his upbringing. You almost become a fan. You're pulling for him. And, they say you need to learn, your enemies or but, and you just, why is he doing what he's doing now? What caused this change? Because you can make a change, but you don't have to make a change to the dark side. So that's just something, and that's going to be part of a future show, because this is something that we really can expound on, and I just kind of like drop a hint on that, but we're gonna be doing some specials on the Supreme Court, because they don't get enough credit for the mess that they put us in all the time.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
We sit here and we pound on 47 Donnie, as they say, or the what does John Fugelsang say? The orange faced baby man.
Yes.
We pound on him, but we got to look at the roots. We see you see that green weed growing out of the ground, but you don't always see those deep roots under that until you pull it out, and then so you're looking at just the top. But the Supreme Court is a big part of this problem,
right?
And that we and not just what's happening, but what's continuing to happen, where I'm just going to do what I want to do.
Right.
I'm going to do what I want to do because the law says the president can't be this, the president can't be, we can't, so I'm just going to do what I want to do. So the Supreme Court is a response, and we got onto that because of Clarence Thomas.
Yeah.
But that's something that we're going to do extended case study on that. As a matter of fact, extended case study on the invisible aspects of what we're going through here.
Right.
Because what they want to do, Lenny, is they want to do these things to throw us off. These literally insane, lunatic things that we talked about in this episode to throw us off.
Right.
And then while that's happening, Stephen Miller and all these other people, they're doing the underhanded stuff.
Yeah.
While we're off worrying about, he put his picture on the Pope. He doesn't know what the Declaration. Well, we didn't touch that, but that's something we'll save for next show because we're about out of time. But the Declaration of Independence, that's just ridiculous. When he was asked about that, you heard about that? I'm pretty sure, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
ABC News interview with Terry Moran.
Yep.
Said that Trump was asked about the significance of the Declaration of Independence, and he responded by describing it as a declaration of unity, love, and respect. Like he had just took a hit off a big spliff when he said it, and which is like. That's been like the talk, but we're sitting there, we're concentrating on that, and they're steady doing underhanded things to us.
Yeah.
But we know that the Declaration of Independence wasn't about that. So, we know Thomas Jefferson in 1776, it was a formal statement announcing that our separation from Britain, the British, right? That's what all of y'all young folks, people that don't know, that's what the Declaration of Independence was about. Not about a declaration of love and unity.
Sure.
What did elementary and junior high kids, what do they say if they hear this? How do you
I'm assuming,
speechless.
These kids coming up now, all you can do is shake your head, because I always tell people elections have consequences. And, for people to sit home, not vote, too lazy to get off their
90 million, right, Lenny?
90 million people.
90 million, that's who won. That's like I said, that's who won.
Yeah.
That's who really won. Not MAGA. Not progressives, not Democrats. The 90 million who stayed home, they won. They won election.
So when you don't participate, as hard as they try to make it, and you don't vote, this is what you get. So now, kids and grandkids and probably great grands, they're going to have to bear the brunt of the decision that this Supreme Court is making
Yeah.
now, who will be dead and gone,
Mm-hmm.
by the time they get up in high school and going to college. But yet they're going to be stuck with these decisions that they made now.
Mm-hmm.
Stuck with them
Mm-hmm.
until they can come in with a wave and make some sweeping changes. But for a quarter of their lives, they're going to be stuck with the decision of this Supreme Court that 80 years and above have made. They're going to linger for the next 25 to 30 years.
Yeah, that's horrible.
Yeah,
That
it
is
is.
horrible.
All
Well,
because 90 million people wouldn't get off their ass and vote.
90 million. That 90 million would have beaten the 60% that voted for him.
Yeah.
And we did it. We did it back in 2018. Wait a minute. 2020.
2020 and
2020.
2008 and again in 2012.
Yeah. But when we put Joe Biden in there to make sure
Yeah,
that he didn't get in there, we all showed how we all could come together.
right.
And for some reason this time we didn't come together because hatred rules. Hatred, systemic, deep down hatred.
Yeah.
Ruled.
Ruled the day.
And hatred smiles in your face every day.
Yeah.
Hatred, you see hatred every day.
Mm-hmm.
And you politically correct yourself
Yeah.
because of you want to keep your job, you don't want to roll. So you deal with this every day.
Yeah.
This is entitlement.
Yeah.
Entitlement that we deal with. But we're going to save that for another show. But we appreciate you all sitting with us. And it's been an outstanding show, Lenny. Once again, you've expounded your knowledge in many areas. And we hope that our followers will take heed and pick up on some of the things that we've said in this show, because we're here to hopefully help that person out there that might be lost and the person that's not lost. We want to help guide. It starts one at a time and it just spread. We want to make this known, and we want to be a source that, like we said, that comes at you straight to the point, hardcore, no chaser.
Yeah, no chaser.
Straight
no chaser.
Straight no chaser. And
Casamiga tequila.
So, Lenny, you got any closing statements? Anything you'd like to touch on before we close out?
Listen, I just want to tell everyone, just prepare yourself mentally first. Get the help if you need it. If you're overwhelmed, like we said at the beginning of the show,
yes,
get help. Don't sit there and suffer and be in anguish and think that you don't have an outlet.
Yeah.
Talk to someone. Tell them, listen, it's okay to discuss your problems with people, with somebody that you can trust.
Yeah.
But get help. Take care of yourself physically.
Yes.
Exercise. Get plenty of rest. Take your vitamins and, eat right. And socially engage. Sometimes you have to engage and sometimes you have to disengage.
Yeah.
So
true.
Very true. Just have a good balance in between. And last, I would say, preparation.
Preparation,
Prepare
yes. For what's coming.
Yeah, not here to scare anybody, but my saying, and we always, we say this all the time, it's better to have it and not need it, and need it and not have it. So prepare yourselves.
Yeah, go back to early in the show and catch Lenny's commentary on preparations. Very good, excellent commentary he gave this evening, following up his commentary from last week. And he's been in the business. He has an inside. You're actually dealing with somebody who knows what's happening, who touches these things every day and sees it and not just somebody on a podcast just spouting off about what they think, and that's where we get a lot of our goods and keep what keeps this country moving, which this president we have now is literally slamming brakes on us. And so, yeah, we appreciate that. Thank you so much, Liddy, for that. And we appreciate you all out there across the country, across the world. As Lenny broke out to us at the beginning of the show, we have a lot of international listeners, and we really appreciate you all over Europe, the UK, the Philippines, and Africa.
Yes.
We thank you all for listening, and go and give us a good rating there, and so we can continue moving up and in the ratings and get to the people who really need to hear it. We're open for everybody, but just the people who really need. So we stand out there and just tell a friend and about the soul of Generation X. So we appreciate it, and Lenny, I want to thank Lenny, my co-host, once again.
Thank you for
an
having
outstanding
me.
show, and we will see you next week on the Soul of Generation X.
You're listening to the Soul of Generation X, and you can find the Soul of Generation X on Apple Podcast, Spotify Podcast, and wherever